After studying this module, you shall be able to know what are banks and reason for their existence, learn what are development banks and their features, understand various developments taking place in banking sector and road ahead. Introduction. The term bank refers to any institution regulated by RBI to accept deposits, pay interest, clear checks, make loans and provide large range of financial services to customers. Banks act as an intermediary for savers of funds and user of funds. Money stored or deposited by public can be accessed by banks to lend this money to individuals or organizations. Depositors earn interest on the money deposited and that can be made to grow. In this way, the banking system acts to channelize society's surplus funds into productive use. Wealth is used for a variety of purposes like infrastructure development, generation of economic assets, etc., which helps society as a whole. Banks are therefore essential for economic growth of an economy. History and origin of banking. The General Bank of India came into existence in 1786. After that, Bank of Hindustan and Bengal Bank were set up and were liquidated after few years of operations. Bank of Bengal 1806, Bank of Bombay 1840 and Bank of Madras 1843 were established by East India Company and they called them as Presidency Banks. In 1865, Allahabad Bank was established and first time exclusively by Indians. Punjab National Bank Limited was set up in 1894 with headquarters at Lahore. Between 1885 and 1913, Bank of India, Central Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, Indian Bank and Bank of Mysore were set up. Reserve Bank of India came into existence in 1935. First phase. Government took major steps in the Indian banking sector reform after independence. Before independence, growth was very low and some of the banks failed as public had poor confidence in the banks. In 1955, Imperial Bank of India was nationalized, which has major banking facilities not only in urban areas but also rural areas. State Bank of India was formed as an agent of RBI and to handle banking transactions of the union and state governments all over the country. 7 banks forming subsidiary of State Bank of India were nationalized in July 1959. With the effort of Prime Minister of India, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, 14 major commercial banks were nationalized in the country. In order to regulate bank, there was a need for enactment of Act. So government came up with Banking Regulations Act 1949, which acts as a guideline for streamlining functioning of banking. Reserve Bank of India became the central banking authority and was vested with extensive powers. The duty of central bank is to maintain financial stability in the economy. It acts as lender of last resort and controls money supply in the economy by administering interest rates. Second phase. The following were the steps taken by Government of India to regulate banking institutions in the country. 1. 1949, Enactment of Banking Regulation Act. 2. 1955, Nationalization of State Bank of India. 3. 1959, Nationalization of SBI subsidiaries. 4. 1961, Insurance cover extended to depositors. 5. 1969, Nationalization of 14 major banks. 6. 1971, creation of Credit Guarantee Corporation. 7. 1975, creation of Regional Rural Banks. 8. 1980, nationalization of 6 banks with deposits over rupees 200 crores. Third phase. Third phase was the phase of introduction of various products and facilities in the banking sector. Liberalization of banking practices was introduced in 1991. A committee was set up under the chairmanship of Mr. M. Narasimhan. Various foreign banks came up and established their innovative practices like phone banking and net banking has been introduced. Features which could give more ease and satisfaction to customer were introduced. The Indian banking sector is majorly dominated by public sector banks. Top 10 players control 60% of total industry. Banking sector is dominated by public sector banks. This industry has huge growth potential. What is banking and types of banks? What is banking? As per Banking Regulation Act 1949, banking is defined as the acceptance of deposits for the purpose of investments of deposits. Money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawable by check, draft, order or otherwise for the purpose of lending. If the institution uses the deposits for its own purpose, such institutions cannot be regarded as banks. Post office, though opens savings account, but it is not classified as a bank because it accepts checkable deposits but do not sanction loans. Some of the non-banking financial institutions are IFCI, LIC, IDBI, etc. Indian banking system can be classified into two categories. 1. Organized and unorganized banking. A. Organized banking. Organized banking system refers to banks which are under the control of the Reserve Bank of India. For example, commercial banks, industrial banks, and agricultural banks. B. Unorganized banking. Indigenous banks which are not under direct control of our central bank are a part of unorganized banking. There are ancient bankers like Mahajans, Sahukars, etc. 2. Scheduled and non-scheduled banks. Scheduled banks are those which are listed under the second schedule of RBI Act 1939. Banks which have a paid-up capital and reserves of aggregate value of not less than rupees 5 lakh are scheduled banks. On the other hand, non-scheduled banks are the banks which do not come under the purview of RBI and their paid-up capital is less than rupees 5 lakhs. All commercial banks, regional rural banks, state cooperative banks are scheduled banks. A. Commercial banks. Commercial banks create credit in the economy through the process of accepting deposits. These banks deal with general public, accept deposits, and provide loans to firms and households. Commercial banks in India are State Bank of India, SBI, Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, etc. B. Development banks. Development banks are specialized financial institutions which assist in promoting economic development by providing medium and long-term loans to industry at reasonable low rate of interest. Development banks in India are Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI, State Financial Corporations, State Industrial Development Corporations, etc. C. Cooperative banks. Cooperative banks come under the Cooperative Societies Law. They have been established to provide loan assistance to rural areas or farmers at low rate of interest. D. Land mortgage banks. farmers can get long-term loans at low rate of interest through land mortgage banks. E. Regional rural banks. Regional rural banks, in short RRBs, are established in the rural areas to meet the needs of the weaker section of the rural population. Investment banking and universal banking. Investment banking. Investment banks are different from commercial banks as investment banks are involved in mobilizing capital for corporates through distribution of shares and bonds. They advise corporate on various corporate actions like mergers, takeovers, acquisitions, etc. They act as an underwriter and trade securities on the financial market. Universal banks. These banks perform both investment banking and commercial banking functions. In the United Kingdom, most commercial banks also have separate division to provide investment banking services. These very large banks are known as universal or conglomerate banks. The Indian banking system consists of total 93 commercial banks, out of which 27 public sector banks, out of which 19 are nationalized banks, 23 private sector banks, 45 foreign banks, and 58 approximately regional rural banks. Features of a bank. 1. Money matters. Banks encourage people to deposit money with them and returned interest is paid to them. Banks act as an intermediary between borrowers and lenders. They help in connecting the people with surplus money to users of money. 2. Acceptance of deposit and giving advances. People deposit money in the bank which is repayable on demand or otherwise. Banks provide safety and liquidity to their customers. A bank provides loans to customers which they require it for different purposes. 3. Payment and withdrawal. People can withdraw money easily from banks through checks, demand drafts, etc. Nowadays, facility of 24/7 ATMs is available, which is used not only for withdrawal of money but also for deposit of money. 4. Services. A bank provides various banking facilities to its customers, for example, transfer of money, sale and purchase of foreign exchange, 24/7 ATM facility, etc. Banking sector is evolving to a large extent in increasing and expanding the scope of functions and services to customers. Development banks. Origin of development banks. Development banks were originated after World War II and Great Depression in 1930 as a support to provide relief to affected nations for reconstruction and development. Commercial banking was mainly for catering general financial needs of public. Development banks as a group of financial institutions mobilize medium and long-term funds for the growth of economy. They vary in scope and size in developing countries. It deals with number of areas: agriculture, industry, housing, mining, particular emphasis on agriculture and industry. The International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the International Finance Corporation, and the International Development Associations have encouraged the creation of private development banks in providing technical assistance and financial support. In 1920, Japan established the Industrial Bank of Japan to cater to the financial needs of her industrial development. The Industrial Development Bank of Canada in 1944, the Financial Corporation for Industry Limited (FCI), and the Industrial and Commercial Financial Corporation Limited (ICFC) of England in 1945, etc., were established as modern development banks to provide term loans to industry. In 1966, the UK government set up the Industrial Reorganization Corporation, IRC. In India, the first development bank, called the Industrial Finance Corporation of India, was established in 1948. A development bank is a lending institution which provides all types of financial assistance to firms which aid in economic and industrial development of country. Structure of development banks in India. Currently, there are 5 industrial development banks: 1 agricultural development bank, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, and 1 export-import bank. The development banks for the industry are Industrial Development Bank of India, IDBI, from 1st July 64, September 04, and now full service commercial bank. The Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI, Industrial Reconstruction Corporation of India, IRCI, National Small Industries Development Bank of India, SIDBI. The state level industrial development banks are 1. State Financial Corporations, SFCs, 2. State Industrial Development Corporation, SIDCs, 3. State Industrial Investment Corporations, SIICs. How commercial banks are different from development bank? Commercial banks traditionally provide short-term money at a higher rate of interest to large borrowers. A commercial bank is a regular bank that provides services like bank accounts, loans, and credit cards to regular customers. A development bank helps in injecting medium as well as long-term capital into productive sector of economy, and also source of entrepreneurship and technical assistance and other financial aids and services to institutions that are involved in development activity like construction, building bridges, industries, etc. Features of development banks. 1. Project appraisal. Major difference between development banks and commercial bank is that development bank gets involved with economic appraisal of projects apart from financing it. Projects are evaluated on the premise they can make significant difference to the development of the economy as a whole. Economic cost analysis is done in order to measure the value of economic value to sectors of economy. Not only economic cost benefits analysis is done, but also social cost benefits is evaluated, wherein it is determined whether the project helps in providing employment or increase in personal income or not. Development banks approve only those projects which are economically and socially viable. 2. Stimulates savings and investments. Development banks aim at promoting savings and inculcating habit of investment among the investors. It attempts to bring investment opportunities and private capital together. It may conduct a survey of a geographical region of an economic sector to find promising projects. It may meet the specific needs of enterprise and actively sponsor capital and technology. After financial enterprise, development banks provide continuing guidance to its clients on matters of operations and policy. 3. Lender of last resort. Development banks act as lender of last resort for those who are looking for long-term and medium loans when not available from other sources at reasonable costs. Development banks promote those activities which are economically viable, which normally having above average investment risk. These projects having longer payback period and high market risk. This makes development banks the most effective source of financing long-term projects. 4. Capital market development. Development banks aim to contribute to increase the long-term supply of funds. They in turn contribute to the development of capital market. 5. Act as facilitator of loan. Development banks act as catalyst by searching for borrowers when amount of funds exceed their limit. They assist in finding sources in domestic as well as international markets. They act as a co-financer and combine different sources of finance into one, such as multilateral loans. 6. Technical assistance function. Development banks not only provide long-term financial assistance but also assist in providing technical assistance through advisors and consultants with expertise available domestically or abroad. This way, it can increase the effectiveness of projects and expected rate of return. Undoubtedly, Development Bank is a useful instrument of economic development. But there are certain prerequisites to the success of any development bank. There should be government policies which can support banks' facilities, congenial environment that can support banks' existence, competent staff, and experienced management. With the RBI's new measures, Indian banking sector may witness better growth prospects in 2016. Further to that, government's initiatives will help in modernization of banking industry and help in restructuring. Recent developments and road ahead. In recent years, there have been many developments in banking sector. 11 applicants have been given approval by RBI to establish payment banks. The payment banks can accept deposits and remittances, but they are not allowed to provide any loans. A Japanese financial service group, Bank of Tokyo Mitsubishi, BTMU, has plans to double its branch count in India to 10 over the next 3 years. State Bank of India has extended financial facilities to MSME businesses through tie-up with Snapdeal, online portal, and PayPal, a payment gateway. The MOU between RBI and European Central Bank has been signed on cooperation in settlement banking that provides a framework for regular exchange of information and technical cooperation between the two institutions. In order to develop corporate bond market, RBI has taken initiative to allow bonds issued by multilateral financial institutions like World Bank Group, Asian Development Bank, and the African Development Bank in India, which shall be regarded as eligible securities for interbank borrowing. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has launched a new scheme, biggest financial inclusion initiative. Prime Minister's People Wealth PMDJY, wherein even the customers not having permanent proof of address are allowed to open bank account. The requirement of current proof was difficult for those who were laborers from other states, so RBI removed that restriction. PMJDY enters Guinness Book of Records, where 20.72 crores accounts opened so far and rupees 32,378 crores deposited as on January 2016. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has scaled new heights in 2015. New government launched Mudra Bank. Mudra Bank stands for Micro Units Development Refinance Agency, which will benefit small entrepreneurs focusing on SME financing needs. It will lay guidelines for microfinance institutions and act as regulator. Removing restrictions. RBI is looking into removing of restriction of which payment banks can keep as maximum balance, which is rupees 1 lakh within bracket US $1,600 per customers. Government has taken initiatives to include differentiated bank license, wherein different banks will cater to different specific needs of customers. Two categories of banking system have been suggested: payment banks and wholesale banks. The payment banks will reach customers through mobile banking rather than traditional banks. These banks may be able to transfer and remit funds through mobile. They cannot offer loan but can raise deposits up to rupees 1 lakh. Later on, these banks can be transformed into full-fledged banks and include other services. Bandhan Bank has been transformed from microfinance company to full-fledged bank in order to cater to the needs of unorganized sector for microfinancing. Digital revolution taking place wherein P2P technology gains momentum, wherein transfer of money from one account to another can place in fractions of seconds. New innovation of watch banking in wristwatch is still to be tested and universally accepted. The Standard & Poor's estimate that credit growth in India's banking sector would improve to 12 to 13% in FY16 from less than 10% in the second half of CY14. Summary: Bank is a financial institution that accepts deposit from people that can be repayable on demand and can be easily withdrawn by check and demand draft, and nowadays by ATM machines. Banks provide variety of services apart from taking deposits, withdrawal, etc. Nowadays, they provide insurance cover, different types of saving schemes, ATM, etc. Banking is the backbone of any economy. Development banks were originated after World War II and Great Depression in 1930 as a support of relief for affected nations for reconstruction and development. Development banks aim at providing medium as well as long-term financial support to enterprises. With the development in technology, banking sector has evolved to a great extent. Focus on moving from traditional methods of banking to modern technology has made it grow many-folds. RBI initiatives on payment banks, removing restriction and initiative by Modi government on various financial inclusion schemes, Mudra Bank has taken banking sector to new heights.